Good morning, everyone. Hope you are fine today. Hope you are safe also, and hope our family and our loved ones are good. All right, so today's topic is color modes. Color modes. Now, the spelling for color, it's not wrongly spelled. This is the American way of spelling colors, right? And this is how it's being represented, or this how it's being shown or displayed in Photoshop and some other applications you could find. So when you see color like this, it's not wrongly spelled, it's only spelled in the American way. Alright, so color modes. And this is a topic for year 5, week 7. Before this, we go into our objectives. It's good for you to remember that our previous lesson taught you grayscale modes. And the grayscale mode is one of the types of color modes. So make sure you remember that, because that's going to help you um, understand color modes better. Now, the objectives for today's lesson: we should be able to define color mode, we should be able to mention the types of color modes, we should be able to differentiate between different types of color modes. Now, what is this color mode? Color mode or image mode determines how colors combine based on the number of channels in a color model. We have different color modes available in Photoshop. Now, in each color mode have their own channels that allow you produce as many colors as possible for any image that you are going to be working on. Now, um, we have we okay there are different color modes that result to different color detail and image size. Now, what does this mean? We have some color modes that can allow you display colors in a rich way. That means all colors are represented in high definition. You can see them clearly and differentiate one color from the next depending on how good the camera was. Now, in all these, there are also some modes that will not display the color as rich as others. So because of these different modes at which colors are displayed, we are now studying color modes. If you look at the right hand side, in our previous lesson we talked about grayscale mode. That's another form of color mode. This is a grayscale image, and it displays colors or based on just on 256 color mode. That means from 0 to 255. We talked about this in previous lesson. So in today's lesson, we're going to see others. We have up to 8 of them in Photoshop. So let's look at the different color modes available in Photoshop. 1. RGB mode. The RGB mode displays colors, millions of colors at the same time. It is good and ideal. We're going to talk about this immediately after listing all the different color modes. 2. CMYK mode. The CMYK mode would represent colors from 4 printed colors. We're going to also discuss this after we're done listing. Index color mode is an 8-bit color mode for 256 colors. Alright, we have grayscale mode. We talked about grayscale mode in a previous lesson. Bitmap mode, that's 2 color combination system. We're going to also understand that in later lessons to come. Duotone mode, lap color mode, and multi-channel modes. These are the different color modes available in Photoshop. Now let's start with RGB. Now RGB, which is representation of red, green, and blue. Please, for since we are dealing with year 5, you should understand that RGB combination of colors is not like what you have in fine arts where you join red colors, green and blue to produce a particular color. But in this instance, we have shades of red colors in combination of brightness on our screen to produce a specific color, a shade of color. All right, then you can have combination of red, green and blue shades of brightness and color to produce a specific color you have on your screen. So RGB is usually the default color for so many design applications. Okay, now Photoshop RGB color mode uses the RGB model. Alright, it uses RGB model just like so many other applications. They use RGB color model. The RGB color model is vast and it is the default. It should be default. It's actually the default color mode for Photoshop images or images you bring from your camera. Once you bring them into Photoshop, it comes in RGB mode. And in most of our computer monitors and even our TV screens. Not just only TV screens, your phone, your tab, most of them have a representation of RGB modes. The values range is from 0, which is black, to 255, which is white, for each of the RGB components in a color image, making it a total of 256 per channel. Now let me explain this. Now the values that range from 0 to 255 means that at 0 in RGB no color is produced, no brightness is produced, nothing is produced. That means you only see black. I want this to be a clue to knowing why it is black for RGB. Alright, RGB 0 means black. Value 0 doesn't mean nothing, it means black color. Alright, so 0 means black, no brightness, no color. It should be the clue to remembering that black is 0 is black. Then to the highest value available, which is the 255. 255 is the highest value available on the color scale. It means that at 255 you have the highest number of brightness. So with the highest number of brightness you get white at the end of the day. Now anything that, no matter the color you have, with the highest brightness possible, you will only have white. That's why 255 is a value representation for white. So on the scale of 0 to 255 you have different other colors representation. So white is only white. You can't have dark whites, blue whites, or something, or no combination. White is white. It is unique. So the value 255 is the representation of white, while the value 0 is a representation of black on the color scale. Remember, black is black. There is no dark black or light black. Alright, this is just to help you remember that 0 is black and 255 is white. I've said that enough. I hope you would not forget that. For each, the value range is 0 to 255 for each of the RGB components in a color image, making it a total of 256 per channel. That means for red you have 256, green you have 256, blue you have 256. Now with this, there will be a cross multiplication of each of the color to produce the highest number to about 16.7 million colors per channel. That means in every channel, that means in every pixel, you will have a combination. The three channels will reproduce 16.7 million colors per pixel. Now I would like to show you what the pixel look like so you understand what we are talking about when we say pixel. But before we get there, look at this. This is in 16.7 million, and this is produced from 256 multiplied by 256 multiplied by 256. Now if we equal that, we have 16,777,216. That means in every pixels can produce a color, can produce up to more than 16 million colors for every pixel. Now let me show you what the pixel mean. This is Photoshop and a graphic, any of the pictures you have in Photoshop. Now I'm going to zoom into this picture. Now click, I'm zooming in, right? I'm zooming in. The more I zoom in, it gets to a point where you're losing the quality of the picture. Now this is what I mean. Now once I click on this part, gradually it's becoming blurry. Why? Because of the content of pixels. Are Picture contains pixels. They are made up of pixels. Now the more I click, can you see this box is showing gradually? I'm still clicking. Can you see those boxes now? Now you should be able to see the boxes by now. So this each box here is a pixel. All pictures are actually made up of pixels. That means each one represents a pixel and each of them can produce a specific color within from the range of 0 to 256. If one pixel here can produce about can pick from a color range of about 16.77 to 16 colors, means that when you combine, if you have so many pixels in one picture, you will be able to produce a highest quality of a picture that you would see. All right, now this is why some pictures are better than the others. Some cameras are better than the others. So I want you to take note of the powerful work of pixels. So the higher the number of pixels, the more the quality of the picture, the more the quality of the colors presented in the picture, and the higher the size of the picture. I hope that is understandable. Alright, so the three channels can produce up to 16.7 million colors per pixel. CMYK. This means the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. CMYK is ideal color mode for printing. Remember, RGB is the ideal color mode for screen. But for printing, CMYK is the better color mode for printing. How does this work? In CMYK mode, each pixel is assigned a percentage value. So it's different from RGB that has its own methods. This uses percentage to produce the color for printing. The lighter colors are assigned small percentages, while the darker colors are assigned higher percentages. For example, a bright red color. Now, a bright red color might contain 2% cyan, 93% magenta, 90% yellow, and 0% black. If CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, can produce with a color, when they do that and produce percentages for each channel, they end up producing a color that's ideal for printing. In CMYK images, pure white is generated when all four components have values of 0%. Now this is different from what we talked about on RGB. For CMYK, white is generated when all four components have values of 0%. When they have values of 0%, they produce what? White, not black. In RGB, 0 reminds you of no brightness, no no color. Alright, but here in CMYK, white means that if this cyan produces 0, magenta produces 0, yellow produces 0, and black produces 0, means you have a white color. I hope this was informative for you enough. Remember that RGB is the best and default color mode for screen like your electronic billboards, like your websites, like your phones, like your TV screens, anything that will have to appear on screen. While for printing, like magazines, like newspapers, and so many of the default mode is CMYK. It doesn't mean you cannot print with RGB. It just means that CMYK will give you better production than RGB for printing. I hope this was informative enough for you and hope you've learned a lot. I would like you to attempt the quiz immediately after this and make sure you rest after you're done. Have a nice day and see you next week.